Hey, how's it going everyone? In this video I'm going to be showing you 10 tips to creating a successful Death Blight build for PvP. If you like the video, please subscribe as I'll be posting tons of content centered around unique builds. Let's get started. Number 1. The only talisman that affects Fia's Mist is the Radagon icon, because it affects the cast speed of the spell. There are no talismans that affect the speed or level of its build-up. This includes everything from the Graven Mass talisman to the Godfrey icon. There are no other talismans in the game that affect Fia's Mist. 2. Dexterity, Mind, Vigor, and Endurance are your best friend for a Blight build. This is because Dexterity increases the speed of your casting, Mind allows you to continuously cast more, Vigor and Endurance are obviously going to help your ability to survive, as well as light loads and stuff like that. So you really want to be able to dodge incoming attacks and retaliate with a very quick cast of the spell. 3. Resistance to Blight scales with Vitality. Vitality increases with rune level, so the higher level you are, the harder it is to proc Blight. This is especially difficult when you're at a higher level because people have so many more options to work with to use against you. But at a lower level, your stats are a lot more limited, and it's harder to kind of find a balance between damage, survivability, and the ability to even use everything you need to proc Blight. Number 4. High damage weapons and spells will prevent you from successfully killing with Blight. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you kill them with damage before you're successfully able to proc Blight, they're going to die from that instead of Blight. Number 5. The Shotel Ash of War will cause the most Blight from impact, but the Shotels themselves proc very little Blight with standard attacks. The best way to use the Shotels is to dual wield them and have them both actively proccing Blight, but the problem with this is that typically the Shotels will be leveled up and it'll be a lot harder to actually proc Blight because people will get killed by the damage done by the Shotels before the Blight actually procs. So one of the best ways to use these is to underlevel them on purpose and to have them both actively causing Blight. So it's pretty hard to do this in the middle of a duel because you're consistently having to switch between both of your weapons and activate the Ash of War and get it to proc Blight. So it's really difficult. The Shotels themselves, personally, I like to have one in my offhand just so that I can run up and get a quick hit in them if they keep running away to continue to proc Blight. Number 6. Death Lightning does not cause buildup of Blight with lightning impact, but the mist surrounding it will. Death Lightning is the least successful method of actually causing Blight buildup because the damage is so high. This is pretty just self-explanatory because the lightning itself, whenever it lands on somebody, does quite a bit of damage. And again, the point of this build isn't to cause damage, it's to proc Blight. So if you specifically don't use a leveled up seal of some sort, that can probably work, but the damage is still pretty high on a low level seal depending on your faith level. Number 7. Gravity Sorcery and Fia's Mist is the best way to consistently get Blight kills. Every kind of gravity attack in the game will pull something towards you, and people are going to run away from Fia's Mist, or whatever kind of Blight proccing weapon there is. So this is consistently the best way to pull people closer to you if you're staying within the Mist. Number 8. Using slow regen buffs will encourage enemies to come into the Mist, because the longer they run away, the more you heal. Now, some people will disagree with using this kind of thing in PvP, but the fact is, Blight builds are intentionally low damage builds. The point of it is to proc Blight, not to cause damage. I've said this a lot throughout this video. So if people are running away from you the whole time, that's more on them. Typically it's easier for ranged attacks to land on you, but depending on how good you are at dodging those or countering them with something like Carian Retaliation, the Black Hole spell, or stuff like that, it can really work out in your favor. Number 9. Light load plus an array of damage negation buffs is extremely helpful. The light load has been buffed since patch 106, and it makes it a lot easier to dodge incoming melee and ranged attacks. So the fact that you're having to stay within the mist for a majority of the fight makes it a lot more difficult to see where your opponent's attacks are coming from, because the mist does block your view. But with the light load, it makes it a lot easier to dodge at specific points and have less of a chance of you just accidentally being hit by something you don't see coming. And number 10, finally, you won't blight everyone. Keep a solid weapon you know you can get a kill with as a default option. That's pretty much everything. Let me know what you guys think. And again, if you like the video, please subscribe. I'll be posting a lot more unique builds and content surrounding them soon. Thank you much, and take care.